As you may know, the Minecraft live trailer was released recently, and it's a very interesting video. So I'm going to be breaking down, analysing and speculating all of the implications and hidden messages in the Minecraft live trailer. Before we get started though, please do check that you're subscribed. I logged onto my alt account the other day and it randomly unsubbed me from Technoblade and Markiplier, and that might have happened to you. So if you could literally just give that a look, that'd be great. Anyway, on with the video. So let's get into this trailer. As you can see at the start here, we have a baby zombie rising up through what seems to be water and out through a cave. Now, some people have speculated that this is hinting at a cave update, but I'm not too sure about that one, Chief. I think this opening scene is just to introduce us to the quote-unquote protagonist of the trailer, who is this little baby zombie. Then, we see a group of chickens standing around the hole where the baby zombie comes from, and again, this is just filler in my opinion. There's Minecraft Live in big white letters in the background, but again, filler. The baby zombie then starts chasing the chicken, which could be some sort of subtle reference to the rare mob that is the baby zombie chicken jockey. I don't know how else you would refer to that. We then get around to the first interesting part of the trailer. There are these bioluminescent squid type things swimming around the screen in some sort of weird synchronized swimming motion. This could be a new mob perhaps? Maybe another update to the squid or a reskin, just to try and make one of the most boring mobs in the game a little bit more interesting. There are a lot of weird mobs in this trailer, however, so let's move on. Either way, there's one more thing to notice on this screen. If you take a close look at the very bottom of the screen, you'll see a weird texture on the floor, which the chicken is running across. This is extremely interesting, because the floor stays this weird, slightly rough but reflective texture throughout the entire trailer, and not one other block is textured in this weirdly realistic way. Now, what comes to mind when you think of reflective, hyper-realistic surfaces in Minecraft? That's right, shade. No, I'm joking. I'm talking about RTX. I'm fairly certain that this reflective, hyper-realistic floor texture is hinting at some sort of RTX update to Minecraft being announced. Perhaps that is coming to Java Edition somehow, or it's being made more accessible. But with that done, there's nothing left to save the scene, so let's move on. We then see the baby zombie running again, but this time with some weird purple lines above him. If we watch on a little longer, we can see that this guy in the background seems to be producing them. We also can get a closer look at him by looking at the guy in the foreground, as they seem to be the same thing, a new type of illager. You can tell they're illagers by the grey face and the signature long nose. I think this is a strong contender for being a new mob as well, as we've already seen a mob quite similar to this in the game files called the Illusioner, which was never added to the creative inventory, but which can still be summoned. I think it's fair to assume that this new mob could be an upgraded version of the Illusioner, or maybe even a new variant or spin on the already existing evoker. However, that Illusioner point loses a lot of credibility when we look at the next scene. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Taking a look at the beams as well is quite interesting. We can see that there's one solid beam in the middle, surrounded by like a broken sheath of energy. This is kind of, not really, but still sorta similar to Guardian beams if you think about it. Those also have a central beam with accessories around the sides, so this could be a spin on that, indicating that these beams might hurt the player in some way. Now, if we go to the next scene, we see a bunch of these blue hoodie illagers seemingly summoning clouds and smashing them into the ground. Now, as I display a side-by-side comparison of these guys and the Illusioners, I think there's no doubt that these guys would be the upgraded Illusioners and not those other ones I mentioned earlier. The whole cloud thing is pretty interesting too. The Illusioners right now can do a lot of sneaky things in battle. They can blind their opponent and can turn invisible for a minute at a time, while also summoning 4 false duplicates of themselves. Now, I don't know about you, but that reminds me a lot of a stereotypical ninja's moves. And what else do ninjas stereotypically have? Smoke bombs. So with all that in mind, I think this means that Illusioners will be another of the mobs to be added, and they'll have the added ability to summon a cloud of smoke around themselves, like a smoke bomb. This next scene also looks like it's filler to me. You just have the announcement of the date of the event with some weird endermen in the background. One thing that's notable here though is that the endermen look like they're swimming almost. Now obviously endermen can't touch water, so that's weird. However, this probably isn't much, as they could just be trying to move through the anti-gravity environment, and that's also what the movement of these blocks seems to suggest. There's then this jump scare, which again, I'm not sure means much, which takes us into the next scene. This is a really weird one. It feels like it should have some significance, but I'm not sure what exactly that is. We're given this weird spinning shot of what is the nether, as evidenced by this strider and all the lava, and you have the zombie and chicken running through it. It's again really weird for 2 reasons. 1. It's a direct reference to this painting by MC Escher called Relativity, which is again a bunch of stairs going in unnatural directions with people using them as if nothing is wrong. And 2. There are multiple versions of the zombie and the chicken present on screen here all at the same time. I mean, in this frame alone, you can see 3 different versions of them. In one, they're on completely different sides of the stairs. In the next, the zombie is still chasing the chicken, and in the last, the chicken is chasing the zombie. This whole scene is decidedly unnerving, and because of all the meaning behind it, it feels like it should have some, well, meaning. I couldn't think of any plausible explanations, however, so let's move on. We then got to look at this absolute chonker. This guy is probably unfamiliar to most of you, at least he was to me until I did some research. Turns out this guy is actually a boss from Minecraft Dungeons called the Redstone Monstrosity, and his presence means just one thing in my opinion: that Minecraft Dungeons will be receiving updates and that they'll be announced during Minecraft Live. After this, we pretty much get confirmation of the statement as you see the text "huge updates" next to a typical locked door from Dungeons, which is then unlocked by a key golem. We then get another great look at the floor texture as the gravity of the scene shifts and the baby zombie drops through the door. We then see the baby zombie falling through a bunch of huge cacti with some rabbits on top, along with a creeper. Now this might seem like nonsense at first glance, but hear me out. So if I say cactus, the first thing you think of is probably the desert. In addition to this, deserts are notorious for being dangerous and spawning a lot of mobs, like the creeper, and that they're also the best place to find rabbits, like you see on top of the cactus. What does that mean? Well, I think that deserts will be making an appearance in the next biome vote for Minecraft Live. And that's not all. Take a closer look at those rabbits. They're all the white skin variant of the rabbit. Now, it's not that common knowledge, but in the Java edition of Minecraft, it's possible to spawn in a white skinned red-eyed bunny called the Killer Bunny. These things are universally hostile, just like a Vindicator named Johnny, and they deal quite a lot of damage, but they never spawn naturally. Now all of this together sounds like a good case for killer bunnies being added to Minecraft in the desert update. However, there's a catch. If I display a normal white bunny and a killer bunny side by side on screen, you can see that there's one difference between them: the eyes. And this is what makes it kind of implausible that these are actually killer bunnies in the trailer, because if you take a real close look at them, you can see that they all have the eyes of a normal bunny and not that of a killer bunny. Still, they all have white skin, which means either this is a sign about killer bunnies may be returning, or someone at Mojang was too lazy to re-render another rabbit skin for the trailer. And who could blame them? Those things must have taken ages. Anyway, let's move on to the next scene. This next scene features another mob that you might not be aware of: the Muddy Pig. This is a Minecraft Earth exclusive mob which, to me, confirms that Minecraft Earth will also be getting updates announced in Minecraft Live. Let's not forget the text here as well: choose Minecraft's next mob. Now this seems like normal, right? Every year at Minecon, the public gets to vote for Minecraft's next mob out of the ones possible, and the Phantom is a great example of this. So again, it seems that the Illusioner, that other weird Illager, and a few other mobs will all be up for voting at Minecraft Live. However, the fact that the Muddy Pig was included here as well seems to suggest that Java and Bedrock won't be the only Minecraft games which get a new crowd-voted mob. Minecraft Earth might also be getting a voted-in mob as well, which could be very cool. We then see perhaps the most interesting scene of the entire trailer: this massive yellow cow with daisies on its back. We also see a bee hanging about near the cow, which could signal that bees would hover around or stay near these cows, seemingly to pollinate its flowers or to harvest honey from them. Now immediately, I'm reminded of the mushroom, and this has several implications in my opinion. One, we could be seeing an update to the Flower Forest biome which adds these exclusive cow variants to it, which I'm going to be calling Flower Cower because that's the only acceptable name for this mob. All jokes aside, however, this could mean that flower forests are another biome that could be in the biome vote. It's also possible, though highly unlikely, that either the plains biome will be overhauled and the flower cover will be added there, or that a completely new biome is added, like a mushroom biome but with flowers instead of mushrooms. There is not much evidence to any of these, however, so let's move on. Next, we see some mobs floating again in a seemingly anti-gravity kind of space from all the different Minecraft versions. You have the Ghast and the Panda, which represents Java and Bedrock, the Head Illager to represent Minecraft Dungeons, and the Horned Sheep to represent Minecraft Earth, which again cements that announcements and updates are coming for all of these games. Then we have the last thing to talk about in this trailer, and it's this end screen. This is perhaps the most mysterious part of the entire trailer. It's a barely visible pixel art of some sort of item, ominous against the black end screen of the trailer. I have a lot of theories about this. We might be getting some sort of slag that's left behind after smelting, or it could be a phantom membrane of some sort. It does look a lot like phantom membrane, but it has the colour of netherite, which leads on to my main theory. Ever since the nether update and OP armor could be upgraded to netherite, people have been begging for netherite in Elytra, and I think this may be how we get it. As you probably know, you can repair Elytra with phantom membranes. Now imagine a phantom membrane, but it's upgraded with netherite in a smithing table or something. Use that on Elytra and bam! Netherite Elytra, which have much higher durability. However, I think a good trade-off for the overpowered nature of a netherite Elytra could be that you're much heavier in game, so you need more rockets to take off and fly. Either way, these are all theories and none of them are confirmed, so do keep that in mind. I really do hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, consider following me on Twitch. I stream there every now and again, and in fact, if I can get this video out in time, I've either just finished a stream today or I'm about to stream tomorrow, depending on how quick I can edit. Either way, give me a follow, we do some cool stuff over there, and you can talk to me directly live on stream since I'm a pretty small streamer. Either way, if you liked the video, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. See ya!